Welcome back to my YouTube channel Tech Solution. Today I am covering the first topic, Flash session. In the Flash session we are covering how we are going to maintain the session using Flash. The second one, Flash uploading. In the Flash uploading, how we are going to upload the file using Flash. Third one, Flash redirect an error. How we are going to capture the error using Flash. And the most important topic, Flash SQLite. In the Flash SQLite, how we are going to connect the database using Flash SQLite, and how we are going to perform the CRUD operation, create, read, update and delete. So let's start with that. Let's remove everything from here. View for file. Okay. Flash session. Okay. The concept of session is very similar to that of cookies. However, the session data is stored on the server. The main difference between the cookies and the session, cookies is going to store in the client side that already also in the client browser, and session is going to store on the server side. The session can be defined as the duration for which a user logs into the servers and logs out. The data is used to track this session. It is stored into the temporary directory on the server. The session data is stored on the top of the cookies and signed by the server cryptographically. In the Flash, a session object is used to track the session data, which is a dictionary object that contains a key value pair of the session variables and their associate values. Now I am going to show what the syntax of the session variable, that you can use sessions, and after that you can use the variable name, variable underscore name, and going to use the value. Okay. To remove a session variable, use the pop method on the session object and mention the variable to be removed. Now we are going to remove the session object. We can use sessions dot pop. This is session only. Dot pop, and we are going to pass the variable name. Variable underscore name. I'm going to use no. Okay, this is variable name is going to store as a session, and this is going to remove the variable that is going to store. Okay, now let's go with the example. I am going to app dot secret key. Okay, equal to ABC. Then you can use a better text solution. Okay, text solutions. I'm going to define app dot root and going to pass the backslash. Okay, and then define the home. I'm going to enter the same missing and double quotes. Use the region backslash and define the home. So that response equal to make dot underscore response, and going to pass h4 session variables is set a href to double quote backslash get. You can use single quote here because that is a string is already double quote. Okay, that is get variables. This is going to href open and close. This is can use get variables and then this Janker is going to close it here, and H4 is going to close it here. Okay, the code. Now I'm going to store into the session, that is response res. Okay, will be smallest, and we are going to return the response. Okay, now I am going to create the root of get variable, get, and defining the get variable. Okay, if response in a session means response variable in session, okay, then as equal to session. Now I'm getting the values here. We are setting the value. Now in the get we are getting the value. For that we are going to pass the variable m inside the session response. Okay, then we are going to render return render element. Okay, underscore template, then going to take the get session element, get session dot html. I'm going to pass name equal to s. Okay, s is nothing but sessions. Okay, now I'm going to create one. Let's close all of them, close all others. Now I'm going to create one more HTML file, that is get session. Okay, and enter. Here basically getting the session. This is going to use p. The session is set with the values strong, the double curly braces, name, open and close. Okay, what we are doing here basically is whatever the value we are going to set, that is going to get it from here using the name, right? The name we are getting this session here, that is going to set into this, and when we are going to render it, then we are going to pass into the name, and this same name we are going to access from here. Okay, this is clear. Now I am going to get session 1. Session has 1. Okay. Now this is. Now I am going to copy this URL and paste it here. Enter. Okay. Your session variable is set. What the session variable? That is session 1. Okay. Now if I am going to click on get variable, then what will happen is going to click on response in session. That is session, right? That is response in session. That is yes, right? And what will happen? That is going to set as a session has 1, and that is going to call the return render element. That is going to call this one, right? And the session is set with the values. What is the name values? That is nothing but session 1, right? Okay. Just click on get variable, right? The session is set with the value session 1. Okay. What we are doing here basically is we are setting the session here, okay, in the response variable names. Okay, the variable name is response. Now we are getting, this is checking, okay, if the session is there, the value is response or not. If yes, then we are getting the value using the response. Okay, s is now is the value of session 1, and this same s is going to pass set with name and going to pass into the this get session.html. Okay, this is clear now. Session that Flask redirects an error. Flask redirects and error. Flask class provides a redirect function which redirects the user to some URL with some status code. Okay, we have the redirect method for that. An HTTP status code is a response from the server to the request of the browser. When we visit a website, a request is sent to the server and server then respond to the browser request with a 3-digit code, that is HTTP status code. Okay, we have, when we are going to send, that is HTTP status code, and that is 3-digit code. Okay, the syntax to use the redirect function, that is flask dot redirect, and then we are going to pass the location, comma status code, comma response. Okay, it accepts the 3 parameters: location, status code, and response. Location, it is the URL where the response will be redirected. Location, basically it is the URL where the response will be redirected. Now the status code. It is the status code that is sent to the browser header along with the response from the server. Okay, that is the browser header along with the response from the server. Okay, and the last one is the response. It is the instance of the response that is used in the project for the future requirement. Okay, it is the instance of the response, okay, that is used for the future requirements. Where the user, let's go with the example where the user is redirected to the success page with the HTTP status code 302, that means found on the successful login. Otherwise user revert to this page only. Okay, let's go with the example where the user is redirected to the success page with the HTTP status code 302, that means we are found it. Okay, I will go with the example on the successful login. Otherwise it's going to redirect to the login page only. Let's create the login from Flask import star app equal to class underscore name, and then app dot root backslash, and then we are going to define the home page. Define home, return render underscore template and home dot html. Okay, now I am going to login page, app.root backslash login. Now I'm going to define login, that is return render underscore template login.html. Okay, now I'm going to validate this in app.root. I'm going to validate the methods, that is post. Okay, now I'm going to define validate methods. If request dot method double equal to post and request dot form then going to pass the password equal to text solutions. Okay, and then return redirect URL for success. We are going to redirect to the success. Okay, this is what will happen. Return redirect URL for login. Okay, if this is going to success, then it will go to the success page, otherwise it will back to the login only. Okay, now I am going to create one more root, that is success app.root and define success method. Return login in successful. Okay, this is clear. And now final if as usual double underscore name score code to double underscore name app dot run debug equal to 2. Okay, this is clear now. Now when you are going to run this application, then what will happen, it will going to land with home.html. okay, after that when you are going to click on the login page, then it will go to the login.html. okay, let's create the home.html first. Right click, new HTML home file. Okay, this is home page. The body we are going to S3 welcome to the website, welcome to the Flask website. Okay, and now here we are going to redirect here href equal to /login and then close and login. Okay, now I'm going to create one login.html file. Login. Okay, and then this is the login. Now I'm going to create form method to post and then action, that is 127 HTTP 127.0.0.1 backslash validate. Okay, and I'm going to close this form. Now I'm going to create table TD. One is the email, one TD will be there, that is input type, input type is text, so that will be the email. Okay, and space, name equal to email. Okay, this is one TR, one TD, that is a password. Okay, another TD, that is input type equal to password, name to pass. Okay, that's done. Now I'm going to create one more TR TD, that is input type to submit and value equal to submit. Okay, we have the email ID, we have the password, and we have the one button that is going to say submit. Okay, now what will happen here, let's go through once again. We can see it, we have this landing page, that is home.html, that is going to, when you are going to land, that you will say okay, welcome to the Flask website, and this login URL that will going to show it. When you are going to click this login, what will happen, it will go to this page, right? And then is going to render underscore template, and that is going to redirect with login.html, that is coming with this one. Now here what we are going to do, we are going to pass the email ID and password. Submit, what will happen is going to go to the action validate, and then it will come to approved validate. Okay, if the request method is post, that is submit, that is true, and if they are going to password, that is text solution, then it will going to redirect with the success page. Okay, this is the success.html. Success.html, and if you say your login successful, if the success is not going to pass other than text solution, then what will happen is going to redirect again the login page. Login means same login.html. Okay, this is clear. Now I'm going to run this application. Okay, now I'm going to copy this URL and going to paste it here and enter. What will happen, that will come welcome to the Flask website, that is landing page. When I'm going to click on the login page, then what will happen, it will going to redirect pass tech.gmail.com email ID and password. What the password, text solutions. Okay, and when you are going to click on submit, what will happen, it's going to come to here, right, post, that is to write, and password is text solution. It's going to redirect with the success page, that is this one, and it will say your login successfully. Okay, let's click on submit. Right, login in successfully. Okay, this is clear. What will happen if you are going to pass the wrong password, right? Here is the wrong password, right? Then it will redirect with the same page. Let's go back to that and just type the wrong password, ABCD. Then it is not going to redirect with the success page. Let's click on submit. Right, it will be in the same page, not is going to redirect with the success page. Okay, this is clear now. Now I am going to show you a standard HTTP codes. Okay, let's remove everything here. Standard HTTP codes. Okay, I am going to define one by one few HTTP codes. Okay, the first one is HTTP 300 multiple choices. HTTP _300 multiple underscore choices. Okay, the second one is 302 found. HTTP 302 found. Okay, HTTP 304 not modify. Okay, 304 not underscore modified. Okay, HTTP 306 that is reserved. Okay, HTTP 307 underscore 307 underscore temporary redirect. Okay, temporary underscore redirect. Okay, this is few of them. Other than that, 301 is also there, that is going to say move permanently, that is there. 303 is there, that will say see others. Okay, the default status code is HTTP 302 found. Okay, this is the default one. Okay, default one. Abort function, that is very important function. Abort function. Okay, the abort function is used to handle the case. The abort function is used to handle the cases where the errors are involved in the request from the client side, such as bad request, unauthorized access, and many more. However, the error code is to be mentioned due to which the error occur. The syntax of abort function, that is flask.abort. Okay, and then we are going to pass the code. Okay, this is very important. I am going to mention the following error codes depending on the specified error. Okay, that is very important. Now I am going to mention the following error codes. Okay, that is 400 for bad request. Okay, 401 unauthorized access. Okay, 403, that is forbidden. Okay, 404, that is very important, for not found. You will get when the URL is not found. Okay, were not found. 406, that is for not acceptable. Okay, 415 for supported. 415 for unsupported media type. Okay, and 429 for too many requests. Let's go with the example. Let's modify the script main.py from the above examples and use the abort function with the error code 401. Right, when we are going to pass the username and password that is wrong, then it will come as unauthorized access. Okay, in case of any random password you are going to enter from the users. Okay, when you are going to enter any random password, then it will come to as unauthorized access. Okay, let's change some more thing on the code. Right, if requested for, let something on the code. Now I am going to, instead of redirect from the URL link, okay, I am going to use else abort. Okay, I am going to pass 401. Okay, and now I am going to save it. Let's refresh this page. Okay, now I am going to pass text solution @gmail.com. Okay. Okay, now I'm going to pass the correct password, Tech Solutions. Okay, I'm going to click on submit. It's going to enter into that and it will say your login successfully. Right? Login successful. Now I'm going to click back and refresh once again. Now I'm going to enter the username tech@gmail.com and password will be ABC. Then what will happen? It will go to that say, it will redirect, it will come to as a bot function, okay, and it will be the unauthorized access. Okay, let's click on submit. Right, unauthorized access. Right, the server could not verify that you are authorized to access the URL requested. You either supply the wrong credential, that is bad password, or your browser doesn't understand how to supply the credential required. Right, this will come because of abort for. Is it clear now? Now the next example is Flask file uploading. Okay, now I'm going to remove everything from here. This is going to remove. Now I'm going to the Flask file uploading. File uploading is the process of transmitting the binary or normal files to the server. Flask facilitates us to upload the files easily. All we need to have an HTML form with the encryption set to multiple form data. Okay, the uploaded file is saved to the temporary directory of the server for a while before it is saved to the some desired location. The name of the destination file can be obtained by using the following syntax. That I am going to say name equal to request dot file and I'm going to pass the file dot file name. Okay, when I'm going to upload the file, what will happen? It will come into that same folder. Okay, you will see it here somewhere. Okay, however, we can mention the path of the folder where the file is to upload it to the server and the maximum size of the uploaded file. Even we can do the setting app.config and we are going to say uploaded folder, upload underscore folder. Okay, this is a one setting in the Flask where it is used to mention the uploaded folder where you are going to pass the folder. Okay, this is it is used to mention the upload folder. Okay, and second is that maximum content path. Okay, app.config, that is max underscore content underscore path. Okay, it is used to mention the maximum size of the file to be uploaded. Okay, that will for the maximum size of the file that you want to upload. Okay, this is clear. This is two configuration that we can set it where you want to save the folder and where you want to how much size of the data you want to upload into the system. Okay, now I am going to show the example. Okay, let's remove everything from here to till here. Okay, now app.root, I'm going to click the backslash here and then going to define the upload function here, return render.underscore template and file uploaded form.html, file underscore upload underscore form.html. Okay, and now app.root port slash define success if the file is uploaded into the server. Okay, and then I'm going to give the request if request dot method double equal to post, then f equal to request dot files, and then I'm going to pass the file, and f dot save, f dot file name, okay, and return render underscore template success.html, success.html, okay, and the name equal to f dot file name, okay. Now I'm going to save this one. Now I'm going to create one file here, okay, the template. Now you create file, that the file name is file underscore upload underscore form, okay, that is upload file. Now in the body I'm going to create form action, that is redirect with the success page, and then method post encrypt, that is multi-part form data, that is multi-part form data, okay, and then going to close the form here, okay, and input type to file, okay, and name also file, okay, and input type equal to submit, okay, and value upload, okay. This is clear now. Now I am going to click on success page, the success.html. Instead now I am going to change something here. Here file uploaded successfully, okay, and p file name, okay, for was the file name that is uploaded into the server, okay. This is clear now. Double C double S success, and method equal to post, and I'm going to close it. This is the com, okay. Okay, now I'm going to remove login and enter it, okay. Okay, choose which file you are going to operate. Just click on choose file, and let's click on flask and going to upload, okay, right, file upload successful, and file name flash.jpg. Now I will go back to here and we will see it here, the flash.jpg uploaded here, updating index function, right, you see it here, flash.jpg uploaded here. Now I'm going to double click here, right, flash.jpg uploaded into the your server. This is clear now. This is very important, okay. I'm going to show the most important topic in the Flask, okay. Flask, using how we are going to connect with the database, okay, and which framework we are going to use it. Let's remove everything here. I am going to show Flask SQLite, Flask SQLite. Okay, this is very important. Now I am going to show you how we are going to connect with the database, okay. So we create the CRUD operation, right. Flask SQLite, that is used to create the database in web applications, okay. now this is I'm going to perform CRUD operation. Okay, CRUD create read create, read, update and delete operation. Okay, application in Flask. Here we will manage the employee information in the SQLite database using a Flask script to which the admin can interact. For this purpose, database employee.db contains the related table, whereas the table employee contains the information about the employees. Okay, now I'm going to create the employee DB. Okay, using the SQLite. Now I'm going to import the SQLite. Okay, that is import SQLite 3. Okay, please check in your application the SQLite 3 is there or not. Okay, now I am going to remove everything from here till here. Okay, now I am going to create the connection. Okay, connection equal to SQLite 3.connect, and then going to create the pass the data, that is employee.db. okay, now after that print our database open successfully. Okay, what will happen here when you are going to pass any database in the connect, then what will happen is going to create the database employee.db. okay, and then after that if you are going to use, then we are going to use connect.execute. okay, and then we are going to create the table inside the employee.db database. Okay, now I'm going to write the query of employee table. Create table employee id integer that is the primary key, and that is auto increment also. Okay, and then name equal to text, that is not null. Okay, this text we can remove also, not null. Okay, after that what you have to do, we are going to create the email ID. Okay, email, that is text also, that is not null. Okay, and then finally address, that is text also, that is not null. Okay, what I am going to create, you can do, I am going to create employee, that is ID, that is integer, primary key and auto increment. That auto increment is 1 2 3 4 when you are going to add the employee. Okay, or create the employee. And name, what's the name, what's the email ID and what's the address, that is all are text and not null. Okay, now after that print table created and successfully. Okay, and the most important thing, when you are going to open the table or database, then you have to close it also. Okay, this is very important. Now if I am going to run this, what will happen is going to create the database employee.db under the employee table, and under this employee table, okay, that have 4 field, ID, name, email ID and address. Okay, and is going to create the employee database and under this employee table. Okay, let's run and see. Okay, database created successfully and table also created successfully. Okay, and you will see here employee.db. okay, this is clear now. Now I am going to build a CRUD application in the Flask. Okay, now I am going to remove everything here. Okay, table, I'm going to create app.root /, define index and return render HTML underscore template. Going to pass index HTML. Okay, now I'm going to create the HTML file index.html. Enter. Okay, index.html already there. Now I'm going to add all those things. Hi, I'm going to add view and delete here. Hi, welcome to the Flash Employee website. Okay, inside that ahref add the employee. Okay, ahref /view list employee, list of the employee, and gref /delete to delete of the employee. Add the employee view, that is going to list of the employee, list of the records. Delete, going to delete of the employee. Now I am going to create add.html file. Add HTML file. Okay, add the employee. Okay, and in body h2 employee information. Okay, now I am going to create one form action. /save details. And enter. Okay, and method that is post. Okay, and now I'm going to create one table trtd. Okay, and first I'm going to create the name. Okay, name and text here, input type equal to text and name equal to name. Okay, this is name. Now I'm going to copy and paste. Second one is the email and text here equal to email here. Okay, now paste. Third one is the address. Okay, this is text and this is address. Okay, and now I'm going to fourth one, that is submit. Okay, td we don't need. Type is equal to submit, and name, instead of name we have value, that is submit. Okay, this is clear. We have the four field or three field, right? We have three field: name, email address, email and address. Okay, and I have one button that is going to post the form. Okay, that is submit. Okay, now I am going to create, let's close everything here in the name. Now I am going to create the save details. Okay, app dot root, that is /save details. Define the function is save details. Okay, message that we can change anything that you're going to pass it. If request dot method equal to post. Okay, I'm going to use try name, right? Request dot form. I'm going to pass the name, right? I'm going to copy and paste it here. Name, this is email ID we are passing, and then the third one is address we are using, address. Okay, now I'm going to connect the SQL, right? With basically, so you don't have to close it the connection, that will take care open and close both. Okay, that is very important. An interview question also, you can say SQLite dot connect. Okay, in which database I'm going to connect? Employee dot db. Okay, right, connection, and we are using cursor connection dot cursor. Okay, and after that cursor is going to execute if we are going to insert the data. Okay, for that insert into implies, and we are going to pass name, email, comma address. This is the insert statement of the implies table, address, and then after that we have 3 question mark here. Okay, and then this is going to close it, this is close, comma, and we are going to pass name, email, comma address. Okay, and this is going to close it here. Okay, this is clear now. And connection dot commit. Okay, and message, there is going to imply successful added, imply successfully added into the implied table. Okay, this is message, and after that we have the except. It didn't go through till now. I will suggest please go and check the exception in the Python. Okay, if anything goes wrong, then we have to roll back, connection dot rollback. Okay, and then message, we are not added the implies imply into the imply table. Okay, and after that finally that is going to return render underscore template success.html. You need to pass a message equal to message, and now I'm going to close the connection. Okay, for safe side, anyway when you are going to use with, then it will automatically close the connection. Okay, because if any exception fail right here in middle of that, and then what will happen, it will come to the rollback, and if the rollback is coming, then we have to close it here. Because of that, that's why I'm using close here. Okay, now I'm going to go with the rendered HTML success.html, right? Let's go to the success.html and let's remove this one S3. I'm going to say hello admin, that is save details, right? Save details, hello admin, and going to pass the message or the message is there, right? And then after you can check the view, href / view, and close the view of employee. After the adding, we can click on the number of employees that you added into the employees table. Okay, I'm going to create the employees root. Okay, app.root view / view, and I'm going to define the views. Okay, for that what I'm going to do, connection equal to SQLite.connect and employee.db. okay, and then connection.row factory equal to SQLite 3.row. okay, and then cursor is equal to connection.cursor. okay, and cursor.execute, that is going to all the employees from the table. For that I'm going to use select star from employees. okay, and after that rows equal to, we are going to fetch all of them, so fetch all is there, fetch all, and after that I'm going to return render.html view.html, and going to pass row equal to rows. okay, now I'm going to create the view.html here. Right click, add file, view.html. okay, that is list of the employees. okay, S3 employee information. okay, and now I'm going to add table border 5 t head pd, that is id, cd, that is name, pd, that is email, pd, that is address. okay, now after that what you have to do, I'm going to use curly bracket % for row in rows. okay, I'm going to percentage close, and then tr cd in double quote row, going to pass the id, rows double quote row. okay, and again I'm going to copy this one, paste. okay, id, this is your name, this is your email, and this is your address. okay, and I am going to end of for loop here after the tr. okay, % of end for loop % and close. okay, this table is closed for now. br ahref / go to your home page. okay, now I'm going to show the delete one. For that I'm going to create delete.html file, delete. okay, delete the employee information. Okay, now S3 I'm going to use delete the records. Okay, and after that I am going to use for method that's delete record method equal to post. I'm going to use employee ID input type to text name to ID, and then input type equal to submit and a value also submit. Okay, I'm going to delete the records for that. Okay, and after that I'm going to use delete here. Okay, app dot root backslash delete record and methods equal to post, right? Definition of delete record indicating the function, right? ID we are going to take as a post, request dot form uncode ID, and I am going to use with SQLite dot connect imply db as connection. Okay, and I'm going to use try cursor equal to connection dot cursor and cursor dot execute, that is the delete SQL statement. I'm going to write delete SQL statement, delete from implies where ID equal to question mark comma, we are going to pass the ID. Okay, and message equal to imply record deleted. Okay, and after that accept. If anything going wrong, message can't delete the imply. Okay, and finally return render underscore template delete underscore record .html, that is going to pass the message equal to message. Okay, that is going to pass the message is deleted or not. Okay, now I'm going to create one delete underscore record .html, delete underscore record .html. Okay, delete record message. Okay, now for that nothing is going to say, it is going to say S3 double message. Okay, and after delete we can see the how many is the record are deleted or not. For that we can see the view, right? View list. Okay, now what we achieve it here, we will go one by one, right? What we are doing, when you are going to run, what will happen, it will go to the index.html file, right? That is this one. index.html file. Let's open index.html file. Okay, this one. It will say hi, welcome to. In the landing page, it will come to the welcome to the Flask employee website, and we can see three options: add, view, and delete. Right? Add the employees, list of the employee, and delete of the employees. Okay, that will go with add, view, and delete. Okay, after it will go to the add, and then what will happen? It will come to add. Where is the add? \add, right? Add.html file, right? It will come to the add.html, where it will go. It will come into the form action, right? Save details, okay? And what it will save? Name, email, and address, okay? And when you go to click on submit, where it will go? It will go to the save details, okay? Where is the save details? This one, right? What it will do? It will take my request.method is post, right? We are submitting, that means post. Then we are taking name, email, and address, okay? And after that, what will happen is going to create the employee.db, right? Insert into employees, and we are going to pass three values, right? Name, email, and address. And after the commit, it will say okay, employee successfully added to the employee tables. Okay, this is add. Okay, now we'll go with view. When we'll go back to the view, what will happen? Index that \view, then it will come to the view.html. What it will do? It will going to show how many employees are there into the employee database. Okay. Before that, we'll go to the here. We are going to connect the database. We are going to get all the employees. Select staff law employees, and we are going to fetch all the records from the employee tables. Okay. After that, it will render with the view.html, and we will pass the rows into that. What the rows will do? Was nothing. It will going to print your all the values, right? Means all the employees on the tables, right? If you see it for loop here, rows in rows, right? And then ID, name, email, and address. Okay, now after that we will go with delete records, right? Delete.html. For the action delete record, right? And method is post. We are passing the ID. Based on the ID is going to delete the values. Okay, and when you have what it will come here, that is taking IDs and delete from employees where ID equal to ID. And after that, employee records deleted. Okay, if you are not going to delete, it will say can't delete the employee tables. Okay. Now I'm going to add the employees. For that, I'm going to create one route for adding the employees. App.route. Okay, and \add. Okay, and define add. And what it will do? It is going to return render underscore template and going to add.html file. Okay. The same way I am going to delete the routes. App.route / delete. Okay. I'm going to define the method delete. Define the method delete. Return render underscore template delete.html file. Okay, and here I am going to add the method, right, equal to get and post. Post comma get. Okay, this we are going to use in the post also, to post the data into the employee table, and also I'm going to get the data also, right? Now I'm going to run this application. Now copy this URL, hit here, enter. Okay, hi, welcome to the Flask employee. Now I'm going to add the employees. Name Techie, email techie@gmail.com, address Techie address. Okay, now if I'm going to click on submit, what will happen? This name, email, and address is going to save into the employee tables. Okay, just click on submit. Right, hello admin, employee successful, added into the employee table. Now if you want to view, then click on the view. That is going to say okay, the employee is added or not also. Okay, now you can see when you click on the view employee, now you can see you have right techie and techie@gmail.com and techie space address, right? Now if you want to go to the home page, go to the home page. Even you can see the list of the employee. To click on here, list of the employee also. Go to your home page. Now I'm going to add the employee detail also. Let's add techie1 techie12@gmail.com techie12 address. Okay, now what will happen, it's going to add another employee into the employee table. Click on submit, right? Added the employee. We can see the view. Then I click on the view employee, then what will happen, we will see two employees, right? Okay, 1 and 2. Now if you want to delete, then we have to pass id equal to 1. Okay, go to your home page, click on delete of the employees. Now pass the id 1, click on submit, right? Employee record deleted. Now if you want to see the view list, then we will see only one employee. Okay, 1 is deleted and 2 is there. Now go to your home page. Now add one more employee and take 123 @gmail.com and address take 123 space address. Okay, and click on submit, right? One more employees added into the table. View employees, we will see two employees. Take 1 and take 123. Go to home page. Now if you're going to delete the employees, then pass the 2, then it's going to delete the second employees, right? Employee got deleted. Now if you view the list, we can see only one employee, right? Employee 3. Okay, go to your home pages. This is clear now. We can see add, list and delete the employees. Okay, and we can see all the records here, right? We will go through once again. This is the index.html file. This is the add.html. This is delete.html. This is the save the details. Okay, this we can see view the details. This is we can delete the records. Okay, this is clear now. Now finally we are going to close the Flask videos. Okay, and if you have any suggestion, if you want to cover any topic, please suggest me. Please give the comment on that which topic you want to cover in the Flask videos. Thank you so much for watching my